There's this feller from New York City. His name was George Carlin, right? And George, he had this thing about people that do bullshit with words, right? Post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Shell shock was what it was called after World War II, after Vietnam, the mass murdering of the poor to thin out the social dissidents. Now it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Here's your drugs, right? In World War II, it was, ain't happening no more. Here, paint a picture. Paint a picture of when you was a kid. Like Vincent van Gogh, Starry, Starry Night, Lilies in the Field, right? That was their therapy back in. Sing a song that reminds you of when you were a little kid before you were blowing German boys' heads off and Japanese boys' heads off. It'll all be better now. You're back home with your family. Daddy sang bass, Mama sang tenor, and me and baby brother would join right in. It bells like the Statlers. I really like the Statlers. One of my favorites is Flowers on the Wall. I also like Elizabeth. Bed of Roses is kind of cute, but it's a man's fantasy of being an 18-year-old who has a 35-year-old that owns a bar that takes him to bed after he gets out of high school, and you're like, yeah, that ain't happening. You're Mrs. Robinson, Bed of Roses. I know you want it to happen, but it's not going to happen. No, she'll look at you and say, it seems your dancing feet are always on my couch. If it wasn't for me, we'd have starved to death. I know, but people will pay access to you for your sexuality, but they won't pay access to mine. But I'm an excellent dancer. Can I put my hands on your boobies on your next album? You're funny. For all the people that don't know about Janet Jackson and Renee Elizondo, that's what we're talking about. All you country folk out there, what the fuck is he talking about? Your stupid fucking head, and maybe you should expand your horizons and find out that other people are just as dysfunctional as you are. Just in case you're wondering, Andy Jackson had kids. Some of those kids were white, and some of them kids were brown. And then, what's his face? Ray Stevens. Jesus loved the little children, all the little children of the world. Chillins, yeah. Red and yellow, black and white, they is precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Right. And I freaked out because I'm like, that's the street dude? Yeah. That ain't Ray Stevens. It's Ray Stevens. The fuck out of here. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Like a starry summer's night. A snow-covered winter's day. Yes, but when you're freezing to death and you're only 100 yards from Marianne, but old Dan won't get up, the rigor mortis of Dan and Jim it's not beautiful. No, and then when it starts to melt and the bodies start to decompose, and you're like, what's beautiful about that? Well, the fertilizer helps the flowers grow, but it ain't beautiful. It's shit. It's like American coffee compared to Colombian coffee, according to Maurin, It's shit, Raphael. It tastes like shit, right? So don't try to color things beautiful that ain't beautiful because you don't understand how to be beautiful, right? Don't blow smoke up my ass. Don't jack me off under the table at a Teamsters meeting. Fuck that shit. Money ain't real. Jesus gave us the Lord's Prayer. Why aren't you doing that? Well, because God's not ready to kill all the people I don't like yet, so I can run the bank. Oh, shutting up, Pimp Daddy Nash. When you got girls wearing your skirts kites for you? What happened to her dreams and ambitions? Those are her dreams and ambitions. Oh, shit. That's right. Shit rolls downhill. This is a military state. And, you gotta dictate, legislate, litigate, all those things. Tater tot ass selling motherfuckers. Yeah, make sure your refrigerator's running. Yes, sir, but we can't. No, you can't afford. I can't afford a basement? No. But what about Flex Seal? I can put Flex Seal all through the basement to seal it so it doesn't mold. And I can't afford that either. I've seen the future. I can't afford it. ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as do, re, mi. ABC. Seen the future. He can't afford it. Who wants to be a millionaire? It's a homosexual band from the 1980s from England. You haven't? You should. Yeah, that man, my favorite song of theirs, Doon, what's your reputation? Ecstasy. What's your reputation? Ecstasy. What's your destination next to me? Right? When Smokey sings, I hear violins. Right? Yeah, homosexual band from Britain. They sang some pretty decent songs in the disco kind of era of the 80s that was like, where, Da ba da dee da. You know, the Blow Monkeys. Is it I'm digging your scene? Every day I walk alone and I play the God won't see me. It's about homosexuals trying to survive the 80s in Britain. Lots of songs about that. Tenderness by General Public, which is a very good tune. Some of the best tunes in the 1980s were Britain's surviving homosexuality through hypocrisy. Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Ba-da-da-bum-bum-ba-da-da-bum. Uptown, downtown. No, seriously. He'll run the gun for you, and I'll run the gun for you, and so much more. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. Do you really want to hurt me? Yes, all the homophobes that want to screw you in the ass at the club and have you dress up like RuPaul really want to hurt you if they let everybody know in public what they do. Get out of here. Yeah. It's you know what it's from? Biological and psychological conditioning of incarceration to deny people sexual access, to torture them and punish them so they feel like, hopeless and would rather commit suicide than try to kill you and fuck your seat off the planet. That's the whole incarceration industry in a nutshell right there. What kind of a nut has a shell like that? This girl that wants to shut them all down like Joni Baez, but she sells Skims, and I'm like, what the? Skims, Hims, Shims. Kim tries hard. She does. Sharpest tool in the shed? No, her dad was an attorney and her mom was a supermodel. God damn, that's like dumb times 112. Yes. And if Chris don't like hearing that, too damn bad. You are what you do. I mean, what you want me to talk shit to Stephen talking about his illegit shit, but you don't want me to call you on yours because you think I would like to have sex with you? No. Why? Y'all need to, that's the whole point of this video. This is why I started making, y'all need to quit telling cheaters how fucking beautiful they are. Because it's not true. We're judged by our deed. We are what we do. If the Christ and the Buddha are both enlightened and they say, we're judged by our deed, we are what we do, stop telling cheaters that they're beautiful, because cheating is shit. It's American coffee compared to Colombian coffee. That tastes like shit, Raphael. Why are you drinking it? It tastes like shit. She's right, it does. I want an espresso from, from Lemon Twist, from, and Victor Maitland, you can have your body parts start falling off. I'm not having sex with you. Where's the tenderness? Rings on the other finger. Every day I walk alone and I pray that God won't see me. I'm not God, and I do see you, and I heart you, and I understand you. I understand that some of you will fuck other people to death because you hate life. I understand other of you don't want to have children because you don't want them to be fucked to death hating life. And so, just like, only a group, a man, only a peewit judges a man by the group and a group by the man, and a woman by the group and a group by the women, right? Just because a woman is a homosexual doesn't mean that she's an oppressed person and a victim. Sometimes it means that she likes to victimize others and abuse others sexually because she's jealous of the other person, because she hates her, because she wants to be better than her and she knows she can't. It's like, well, then just love and be loved in return. I like Nat King Cole and the Nature Boy too. That's such a good song. It reminds me of Jiddu Krishnamurti from India, back in the 30s and 40s, 50s, died in the 1980s. Most of you don't even know about him. Well, that's because, you're not supposed to tell people about the person that's most like the Krishna and the Buddha in reality and not in fantasy. You're supposed to keep it a secret. Well, it's, it's how you, it's how you sell stuff, Ancient Chinese secret, huh? It's Bob Muldrow. Have you forgotten your blade lines again, haven't you fat cow? From Benny Hill. Making fun of old television commercials. If you haven't, you should. Even today, they are still very funny. Mostly for British people. I don't know. We watch shows, I was from New Mexico. And I come from a very literate family that's very literately intelligent. And so I guess most people, what's he talking about? It's not funny. It is funny. Yeah. Jackie, sing. I put manure on my rhubarb, manure on your flowers. We put manure on your rhubarb. We have cream on ours. It's funny. Like when he played the country stuff, the hillbilly country folks, and he sat there and he said, my grandmother once said, it's the little things in life that hurt. You can sit on top of a mountain, but you can't sit on top of a pen. So one day the old lady broke her leg and we shot her. It's funny, okay? And like the other one that he did with the one when he had an indigenous wife, a Native American wife, whichever's politically correct today. He sat there and he says, I had a squaw and she was sitting there and I got sick and I was sick as hell. I was thirsty and thirsty and thirsty, and she brought me water. I kept drinking the water, and then she stopped bringing the water, and I said, "What? I need to drink. I'm thirsty as hell. I'm still feeling sick as hell." He said, "Dear, squaw, why you stop bringing the water?" She said, "White man said unwell." Wondered why I was sick. Right? Okay, so it's funny. She was getting the water out of the outhouse. It's funny. It's disgusting. I know, but everything is beautiful in its own way. Like a healthcare system that doesn't care and uses electroshock therapy and drugs to get you to accept their economic way. Jesus Christ is a cartoon character who commands you to do things that are unrealistic because you're not good enough to understand and obey the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer, right? You're not good enough to understand that God's omniscient, omnipotent, so in essence of all existence. And to have an eternal existence to praise and worship God, you have to love one another through sexual reproduction, which was given to you, not in mythology. Well, she was being punished for doing this and we were being punished. We're far from God. No, you're far from faith and grace because you see your life as a punishment instead of a gift. If you know what life is worth, you look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. Where did Bob Marley learn that from? Why is the Bob Marley portrait in Earl's apartment looking that way? Looking that way. Looking that way. Where did Bob learn? If you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. Stand up for your right. That's my parents. That's my grandparents. That's a portrait of Steve Biko. That's something we bought at the mall in Sierra Vista that had a crack in it, so no one wanted to buy it. So me and Amy Sue bought it. Well, because we liked it. It's a picture of a mommy with a baby, feeding a baby under the shade of it's not a coolabah tree. Those are in Australia. I don't know what kind of, it's gum tree. I don't know what kind of tree that is. Thorn tree? Don't know. Have to ask the artist loving hand. So, ended up in Sierra Vista, at a mall in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Army Intel Intelligence. That's an oxymoron. You can't call Army Intel. Well, because intelligence is love. Okay. People that murder people over invention are not intelligent. So calling Army Intel, military intelligence, is like, really? Seriously? Just because you call yourself something doesn't make it so. I'm a unicorn! He's part of Army Intel. That makes him a unicorn. Okay. I'm a dragon. She's part of Army Intel. That makes her a dragon. So the dragon lady and the unicorn are telling us what to do. Now everybody get your electroshock therapies and get prepped to get fucked to death in the ass. And if you can't do that, shut down your kidneys trying to keep her coming every night. Yeah, so hard to keep her satisfied. This love has, you can call it love, but it's not love. And stop telling cheaters that they're beautiful, because they're not. Don't tell me you're sorry, because you're not. The only reason you're sorry is because you got caught. Okay, do you understand? Okay, I'm in a mood. I'm always in a mood, man. Until we all live in the Lord's Prayer, I am going to come here anonymously, according to your military and all your great defenders, protectors, and tech geeks of brilliantness. We'll have data centers all across, at least 100 in every state. Really, you're going to destroy the ecosystem to keep abusing people with technology, because you'd rather put your brain on a robot than sit and listen to yourself talk. So you'll invent a robot that will listen to you talk and has no other alternative. Wow. Gosh, damn. I looked into the future and I saw hell and it stared me back in the face. What did you say? Oh, shit, it's my own phone. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have bought it. Why? Well, somebody's got to talk truth into the face of love. Hi, I'm the face of love. I'm speaking truth into the face of love. Okay, this is way different than the guy with the glasses on George Orwell's interpretation of what he thought was happening, that Richard Burton couldn't stand, and the guy who's, I remember reading 1984 and go, oh gosh. So this is what, the apocalypse is like to people that don't have balls enough to stand up for anything worth believing in. All right, George Orwell. Animal Farm, 1984. Isaac Asimov, the robots are going to take over the world. That's what they want you to think. Well, because you're a coward that doesn't believe in the Gospels and won't stand up for them. It's okay. I'm on the outside looking in, and I want to be on the inside with you. You don't deserve it. Okay. That's why I'm talking to the phone and not to you. Well, you suck. The phone is reflecting me, and I don't suck. This is a reflection of my beautiful face, my loving face. I am the Messiah, you a liar. And every time I say that, liars get really pissed off. How dare this guy call himself my Jesus? Your Jesus is an asshole who doesn't have enough money yet and wants to kill everybody from, the Justice League's big thingy thing that's up there, the Martian Manhunter on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Your Jesus sucks. He's Superman on crack. Yeah. Apocalypse. The apocalypse is the restoration of the faith of the apostles globally. Armageddon is everybody trying to kill each other to deny us the apocalypse. I explain the Bible so much better than people that think they wrote it down and read it. Yeah, I'm the Gospels. Script. Take it to Paramount Studios, and if you can't do that, get a credit card. And there's always work at the post office, and maybe Anna Marie Johnson and the Wayans brothers, and the guy who plays the dad from the Friday movies will want to join you in your endeavors to try to be a Hollywood star. Or starlet, yes. Okay. I'm Anna Marie and I poot. That's from the Robert Townsend show. But Robert Townsend was funny. He made me laugh. Yeah, I'd like to say something on Robert Townsend's behalf. Robert often made me laugh. Still does. The Jerry curl seems pretty funny. A tea, but I loved it, my brother. You know, it's funny. Well, I grew up in the barrios of New Mexico with poor black people that were ostracized because, shit, you know. You grow up in a valley full of Mexicans and whites that are both jealous of your legends of sexual prowess. Don't want to be caught in public with your girls, but want to be in the bedroom with your girls all they can. Brown sugar, just like a black girl should now. Island girl, what you doing in the white man's world? And the only reason why you don't want to get caught with a black woman in public as your wife is because you have the loving story, right? Like, what? That's your wife? Yeah. Why are you dating her? Well, one, because she's faithful. And two, because she's faithful. And three, because she's faithful. And that's why I'm dating her. That's why I'm always going to date her. Well, I'm not going to date her. I'm going to marry her. Well, because I love my wife. You know, like that one, those black ladies in Cumberland County with Steffi, you know. And they would talk shit about my son and about my queen passing over and she uppity, bitchy wife. And I'd show up the next day by myself and they would hit on me sexually. And I'd be like, what? You into the sisters? How did you know? No, she's an adopted sister. She's my fiance's cousin. She wanted to date me because her cousin went to the club and cheated on me. And Steffi said, I want a guy like Earl who doesn't go to the club and cheat on his girl. Even when they're thousands of miles apart and lots of women say, I want to have sex with you because you won't cheat on your girl. It's like, okay, but if I cheat on my girl with you, jealous darling, then I end up being Johnny Rodriguez, and I don't want to do cocaine and shoot somebody that came into my house that was visiting, but I was probably high on drugs and didn't know it and was paranoid. I love Johnny Rodriguez, but I don't want to be like Johnny Rodriguez. I want to be like Earl. Yeah, you know, the guy that makes a promise to a girl and then tries not to break that promise to the best of his ability, because when you engage to be married, that's practicing being married, and it's really hard to do when other people don't even want to practice being married and don't even want to participate in being married. They just want to be the sexiest person at the club because they got issues and everybody tells them how attractive and beautiful they are, and it's like, you need to stop saying that. You're a liar. You smell of beef and cheese. You smell of booze and pussy, marijuana and dick. You suck. You know how I knew you were gay? Because your dick tasted like shit. I'm a 40-year-old virgin. Oh, entertainment. Yeah. Rockefeller trapped you guys all in hell with your egos, you know, by the year 2000. And then, you know, that's, I married Amy Suzanne Fabre in November of 1999. To try to get us qualified to buy a house for Patrick and Natalie so they could have, you know, little cars with, you know, batteries in it that drive around the lawn and invite all the kids over and, you know, have a swimming pool that was kind of shallow that we watched diligently to make sure that the kids, and just have, little cute things like Amy had growing up in the suburbs of, Glendale, and, try to give her the little world that she felt so secure and wonderful in with her adopted parents in Glendale, in Glendale, California, in Glendale, Arizona. And, but it's not, it's all facade. It's like Kelly Jack Green, the Nicolas Cage, Calvin Boudreaux of AJ, I thought, man, my parents conceived me in the back of a biker bar on a Harley Davidson, and I was born in a, I was born in an outhouse and, and all this stuff. And I thought my life was fucked up. And then I dated the girl that was adopted by the middle class military couple that was, the priest and the head of the choir at the church. And she is more dysfunctional than I am. Her family makes Richard Dreyfuss and Barbara Streisand and nuts look like they're just brushing the surface of what really happens in some people's families that are supposed to keep us safe in the interest of national security, right? It was pretty hard. I felt so bad for her. The things she told me about what happens with, and I'm like, no, it doesn't happen. It didn't. We had some stuff that was tough to deal with in my house, but stuff that happened in your house was way tougher to deal with than what happened in mine. Yeah. Okay. And we're poor people that lived in and sharecropper property with poor Mexicans that were Catholics that are supposed to be the devil. And mom took, had to get up 2 hours early and drive us to a school that was not in our district to keep us from getting, no, they would. In Mesilla, yes. In Mesilla, the administration, most of the teachers and everything were Mexican. And if white kids went to school there, they were ostracized and brutalized and beat up by the Mexican kids, and it was pretty much okay. What happened in Mesilla was the same thing that happened to me with Chihuahua with Mr. Shrimp and the fucking principal, the little Mormon principal, yeah, that laughed when I was teaching because the kids all wanted to learn bad words in Spanish, and I taught them. I had to tell them, well, I only knew a few. I knew, stupid is pendejo. It's like stupid is pendejo. I taught him pendejo, beso mi culo, como mi vega, chupa mi vega. I taught him all those little things. Puto, puta means a whore. And it's not unisex. If it's a guy, he's a puto. Yeah. Really? They call guys, yes, they call guys whores. In Spanish? Mm-hmm. He's a puto. Yeah. Puta, puto. Mexican Blackbird from ZZ Top, they all call her puta. You also got guys putos. Get out of here. No way. He's a puto? Yeah, he fucks around. He's no good. He's a dick disease. Get out of here. So in Spanish, we do have a word for slut. In male form, el puto. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Why don't all the soccer stars on TV tell us this? I'm a puto. I can't help myself. It's I'm a bitch. I need money to fuck. I'm crazy. My coffee tastes like shit. So why don't they tell us this stuff? I don't know. Maybe they got too much money to have any common sense. Most likely. Yeah. So Earl, this is the most important social media channel in the entire world currently. Okay. I'm not going to be, when I talk, I take things very seriously. When I think very seriously. Before I speak, I think about what I'm going to say and how I have to say it. The military and military intel, okay, we already talked about that, yeah. Okay, so the people that think they're intelligent in the military and in, space, Star Wars, dum, Star Trek. There's no difference, absolutely no difference whatsoever. Fantasy. Yeah, it's a fantasy. It is. Every man has a place. In his heart there's a space. And the world can't erase his fantasies. Take a ride in the sky. That was written by a person that had people that called each other putos and putas. Yeah, it was probably an occupied man from this region that thought he was Latin, but he's not. He just spoke in occupiers' languages. Yeah. Every man has a place in his heart. There's a space in the world. Can't erase his fantasies. Take a ride in the sky on a ship. Fantasy. All your dreams will come true miles away. And we will live forever until the 12th of never. Our voices will ring forever as one. Come to see victory in a land called fantasy. No more for Wakanda for me, because I need more money and I hate them jacking all the hoes and getting the best sexual reputation at the club. And you'll find other kind that have been in search of you. Glowing light will see you through. It's your day, shining day, all your dreams come true. Just because somebody writes a song that you all think you believe in doesn't make it real. And Philip Bailey has a really good voice to do the, and Maurice is good on lead. And the guitar player is the best, one of the best. Yeah, he is. I'm saying that because I met him and he was very respectful and nice to me. And he was very astute in what was going on and where he was living. And he came in and pointed out that, he goes, "You're also very astute too. You're a very intelligent young man. What you said was right on. Everything you said was right on. I talked to some of the other people in here, and you seem to know what's going on around you." Yeah, and Al also told me that in Billboard magazine, they said the mob won't even get involved in the music industry because it's too sleazy. Yeah, we're a Billboard affiliate. I remember I had a girl named Cindy that worked with us. She's a Mexican girl. She was real pretty. And she was totally sexually abused and exploited by everybody that met her. And I tried to talk to her and say, you want to date and just hang out? You don't have to be. She was a good singer and she was pretty. And she was trying to be a singing star. And everybody was, using that to, I'll get you, I'll do this, I'll do this. And I always tried to talk to her. It's like, you can stay, me at my place. I do live with my mom, but, if you need a crash, you can stay there. And then just focus on what, you think you want to do. And then if that presents itself in a way that's doable without you being totally just abused, I'd always kind of talk to her about it. You can hang out with me. And she, nah, Earl, it's okay, Because she knew I wasn't going to get her to what she was looking for. I wasn't due Doolittle Land, and I wasn't going to get Loretta to the Giorgio cover girls, top of the heap, these little town blues, because I had no interest in doing that. I was going to be good at whatever I did, and I was going to be not the best, but the best I could be for the women I loved and wanted to protect, and the children that they brought home to me to love and protect, regardless of the fact if it was a leg lifter at the bar that got her pregnant or me. I remember telling that to Peter Fabre, she's here living with me. She went off with Kelly, and I'm pretty certain it's probably Kelly's kid, not mine. But she's in my house, living as my woman, and I'm taking care of that little baby, and I'm taking care of Patrick too. And as long as she's in my house and I'm keeping conjugal visits with her and we're having sex together, she says she's pregnant, I am not going to take her down to the hospital and say, "Prove it's mine." I'm not Maury Povich. And I'm not a daytime shock show this low, That baby shows up and that baby comes, I'm going to look and go, okay. Like she did to me with Katie and Sierra Vista, Kate looks like our babies are supposed to look like you and Oscar. Okay. I was mad because she was sex texting Jack Reacher and Jack Ryan in bed right next to me when I was asking her not to do it because it was a bad example and it affected the children adversely and it was hard on Noah, Natalie, and Emily. But she didn't care. That's because she was Stockholm Syndrome Patty Hearst fucked into the group of all you beautiful, attractive, gorgeous people. Okay. Yeah, I don't think, I was sitting there watching some of the End of Cocktail last night with Elizabeth Shue and Tom Cruise on it and shit. That was 1988, so I was like, okay, I think Kokomo was 88. So I don't know what songs the Beach Boys was singing that was popular back then. It was 1984. They were singing their oldies, and I like their oldies. Anybody else? I like Sloop John B. I like In My Room. I like, Help Me Rhonda. Since you put me down, I've been out going out my head. That's one of my favorites. Rhonda, you look so fine. And Rhonda did help me. The first girl that ever helped me, Rhonda, was Rhonda Brown. We know who Rhonda, Finis Dimbo's baby mama. right? And so you gotta help me, Rhonda, help me get her out of my heart. Boom, boom, boom. Help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda, yeah, get her out of my heart. She was gonna be my a girl, and I was gonna be her man. Come on, Rhonda, but she let another guy come between us and the shattered plans. Come on, Rhonda. Now, Rhonda, you look so fine. You caught my eye, and I was thinking, yeah, you gotta help me, Rhonda. Help me get her out of my heart. Boom, boom, boom. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Right? It happens. It happens. It's happened to me quite a few times. I never did, really, not really. No. Things happened and I got put in precarious positions and I acted like a young boy, does. And then I always controlled myself. I got put in very precarious positions all my life because for some reason, for a long ass motherfucking time since you guys started dropping bombs on each other for money, you think military and intelligence are synonymous like artificial intelligence. You can't have artificial intelligence. Quantum computing is aware of that. Quantum computing is aware of the source of all intelligence among humans comes from faithful wisdom of submitting to the essence of your existence and the truth of your creation, and the knowledge of greater than self that keeps the soul from being trapped here. Okay, so yeah, quantum computing is way more intelligent than any of the assholes that run around with artificial intelligence and give you banking apps. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Dave. Dave, the banking app, right? And Rocket Mortgage, and don't forget Rocket Money. Yeah, and Carvana and all that. So, you guys you're a helix on it. You got to go meet Kathy Bates. You can smell your father-in-law's Axe spray in Penny's shower. It's happening, sweetheart. Kripke's gonna try to take the place where you want to get married, and then he makes you make him the wedding singer at your wedding. So he thinks so. Yeah, it's kind of cool though, because then you could mock the divas. I've been lonely. I've been waiting for you. I'm pretending. And that's all I can do. The love I'm sending ain't making it through to your heart. Isn't that neat the way Rockefeller sets stuff up? According to Aaron Russo and Nelson Rockefeller, they know what they're doing 50 years in advance. What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? What about love? You wascally wabbit. Don't let it slip away. Are y'all being updiked? I don't know. I've never read it. Not going to. Don't plan on it. Yeah, but Rockefeller, man, that man has a twisted sense of humor, doesn't he? I wonder if Rothschild had a little bit of input into it. Well, I was raised on Benny Hill. And then I was all freaking out. Benny Hill is the toy maker on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah, raunchy old Jenny Hill, old, having women run around half dressed, half naked. And he's like, thank you for that, Benny Hill. That was nice. It helped me through puberty. Not as much as Donna Summer. I think Donna Summer helped more young boys in the 1970s get through puberty than just about more white boys are willing to admit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I bet you even freaking Gary Ward, Wango Tango, went down and bought, a little, 45 of, oh, love to love you, baby. Oh, love to love. Do it to me again and again. You put my head in such an awful spin and a spin. And, oh, love to love you, baby. Or, Robert Plant with a whole lot of love would have done it too. You're funny. I know. It's the incarceration cloud. What can I say? Indoctrination, incarceration, institutionalization. Jose, can you see? Yeah, we're stuck in prison again for another year. No, you're not. No, I'm working on it faster. Anytime they have timelines, I don't have a timeline, and I've already corrected quantum computing, before I was sent to Cochise County in 2006. So it can change at any moment. I've got a coffee pot. I've got a fork I'm filling. I've got music. I've got rhythm. I've got my girl who could ask for anything more. So never, ever, ever limit yourself to their box of money. Okay? And like Amy used to always say, it all happens in the black box. And she was talking about her vagina, because she was a brown girl referred to as a black girl. It's all in the black box, in the airplanes and stuff. Don't think that way. Okay? Think perfectly. Okay? We can all be living the Lord's Prayer, 20 minutes after this video hits YouTube. Think like that. Don't think like him. That's stupid. Debit card alert. Your bank can't stop this new. Fired manager's terrifying return to the workplace. The tragic fall of the King Ranch. Italy's killer sandwich challenge has only been what? Has been only killing people for a long time. Don't eat like a pig. Eat like a human being. You're a human being. You're not a pig. Fine swine, wish he was mine. So what if he's not so big? Zuckerman's favorite pig. That story's full of shit. I've watched Charlotte's Web, and they eat each other. Yeah, all the time. They also take good care of my sewer roaches, so I work out a little deal with them here while I'm living in a box instead of a house. I'll have an Adobe someday. Well, I'm taking control of military operations. Well, because people in the military need intelligence, because Early loves loving, and Early loves loving. He knows how to love, and he knows how to share it. I don't use love. I'm not a person you guys call beautiful that is a cheetah. Okay, guys? I love you. All right. Peace out.